Hi there, Jen Roque here at stampcampwithjen.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Summerfield, Florida, and welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. Today is week 2 of my 12 weeks of fall and Halloween series. I hope you guys enjoyed week 1. If you haven't checked it out yet, please go back to stampcampwithjen.com. You'll be able to see it there, or if you're watching from Facebook, you can kind of scroll through the page and see the project from last week. As you join, please say hello and let me know where you're watching from. I love hearing from you guys every week. So we have a really fun project today. I'm going to go over a couple announcements before we get started. I'm going to give everybody a couple minutes to hop on before I get started. I think I joined a little bit early today, so I'm going to wait another minute or two before we get into everything. But today's project is really cool. We're actually going to be using 3 different celebration items in this project. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways to use those free celebration items that you can earn with your purchases through August 31st. Hi Sylvia, thanks so much for joining me. So if there's anything that you haven't earned yet that maybe you want to get for free with at least a $50 purchase, you have until August 31st. And then after that, celebration will sadly be over. Celebration is one of my favorite times of the year. Hi, Sue Bosco. Thanks so much for joining us from Alabama. Hi, Diana from North Carolina. It's so good to see you guys. How's the weather? I know here, I was just telling my husband, I feel like it's actually starting to cool down just a smidge. It's still pretty warm, but our pool doesn't feel like a lava pit. It's actually starting to feel comfortable. We actually have a heated pool, and we turned the heat off because it was getting so hot, and even with the solar panel heating that we have turned off, it was still just so hot because it's just been so hot during the day. It's keeping the water so hot. So it's actually starting to feel more comfortable to where we can actually swim in it and not feel like we're in a hot tub. I shouldn't complain. I'm not complaining at all, but it's just, I usually like the water really warm, but it's even been too warm for me. So all right, well, let me go ahead and turn the camera around, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of go over a couple things, and then we'll get started on our fun project today. It's going to be so awesome. So let's see here. Get my lighting going. You have lots of rain. Yeah, the rain helps too. Quite cool, yep. Yeah, our pool was we actually, I don't know if you have that, Sue, but we have like something that reads the temperature in the water, and ours was at 90 degrees. And actually, I think it might have even been hotter than that, but it's now at 85, which is actually pretty comfortable. I think it was like, I want to say it was over 90 degrees even. It was really hot. All right, guys, so the same spiel that I always give. If you shop with me during August and your order is under $150, please use my August host code when you check out. This helps me earn Stamper Awards towards free products that I send you guys whenever you place an order. I send a free gift to everybody that places an order through me. There's no minimum requirement at all. And I usually send like a little card that you can reuse. I usually leave the inside blank and just kind of put a piece of paper in there. And then that way you can use the card and regift it. And then I also put a little bit of candy in there. Hi, Roberta. Thanks so much for joining. Yours was 89 and now it's 86. Yep. Hi, Jessica. Thanks so much for joining. All right. So like I mentioned earlier, celebration is here through August 31st. So if there's anything that you need or want with at least a $50 purchase for free, you might get some ideas from today's project. Then make sure you place, oh, there it goes. Looks like my connection was bad. Hi, Sue, you're lost in your craft room. That's a good place to get lost. All right, so like I sent out in my newsletter earlier this month, Celebration added, or Celebration Stampin' Up! Added more items to Celebration. So you can now earn these items, which are actually items in the 2022 to 2023 annual catalog and the July through December 2022 mini catalog. These are standard items, but during Celebration, you can actually get these for free. And today, we're actually going to be using this one, which is the Kraft gift boxes that you can get free with a $50 purchase. And we're going to be using this one, which is the Timber 3D Embossing Folder, which you can also earn with a $50 purchase. And the third Celebration item we're going to use is the Rings of Love Designer Series paper on page 7 of your Celebration catalog, which you can also get free with a $50 item. I have been hoarding this paper. I love it so much, especially for fall projects. I just can't get enough of it. I probably got like 8 packs of it. Lots and lots. So another thing I want to mention real quick, tomorrow, my blog, stampcampwithjen.com, is going to be going through an update. It won't affect you at all as far as being able to access my blog, but the only thing is you won't be able to see the post with all the details for today's project until probably a little bit later, because I have to wait until they finish doing the updates to post any blog posts. So it might be a little bit later than noon Eastern time that you're used to. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was next week I won't be going live because I have to go out of town, but I will still record a project and I will post it on Tuesday at noon next week. Okay, so I've got to go out of town for a few days, so I will make sure you still have your crafting inspiration ready to go though. Okay, are you ready to see today's project? I was so excited about this. I went crazy. So I made these little, I'm calling them Cozy Kraft, Fond of Autumn Cozy Kraft gift boxes. So these use the Kraft gift boxes. We basically made like a fancy little belly band here. And when we slide it off and open it up, you have all these little treats inside. Isn't that just darling? I love it so much. So let me see, my lighting feels like it's like you can't see anything, but maybe it's just me. Okay, but yeah, isn't that so cute? I just love it. So I actually have 2 packets. Oh, and there was one hiding in there. Maybe I'll have it for a snack later. 2 packets of this sea salt caramel hot cocoa mix. And then I have 3 little Hershey nuggets that I decorated with Rings of Love Designer Series paper. And then I actually have 4 Ghirardelli squares in here. So this one, I actually really like these. I wasn't sure if I was going to. My son and I taste tested these the other day. And if you bite into it, it tastes like those caramel apple pop suckers with chocolate. And I thought they were really good. It sounds weird, but it was actually pretty good. And so after he and I split one of those, he stole one of my caramel ones because those are his favorite. But so this is something that I thought would be really cool to do. Like if you like to sell at craft shows, this would be a cool little craft show gift. Or if you have somebody that's really special to you that you wanted to treat them, this would be a nice little treat box to give somebody. And it's actually, because there's 2 of most things in here, you could give it to like somebody to split with somebody else. So hi Leslie, thanks so much for joining us. I'm so glad you like this project, Jessica. So I'm going to show you how to put these together, and let's measure this real quick because I wanted to show you guys how big it is. So the box itself is a little over 4.5 inches wide, and it's 6.5 inches tall, and then it is about 3/4 of an inch deep. So it's pretty substantial. It's a pretty big box. And then, like I said, we just used some awesome fall products here and made like a fancy belly band to just slide over it. So it's a pretty easy project. You're in a secret sister. Oh, that's a good idea, Sue. A secret sister swap. This would be perfect for that. This would be such a special treat for somebody. I did want to share, so where I got those caramel apple squares, they do have them separate in their own bag, but I found this one as well if you wanted to just get a bag and split them up. It has dark chocolate, sea salt caramel, regular caramel, and then the caramel apple, but you can get a bag of just the caramel apple ones, and I was able to find these at my local Joann's. That's the only place I've seen them so far. It is pretty early in the season. I've been kind of struggling finding holiday, like fall and Halloween candy, but I was able to find these at my local Joann's if you're trying to make this. And then the Good and Gather sea salt caramel hot cocoa mix I got from Target. So, but that'll all be in the details on the blog post tomorrow whenever I can finally post it. So let's get started making that. So this, these are the Kraft gift boxes. It comes with 10 of them in a package. And like I said, these are free with a $50 purchase, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to put these together. It's really easy, and I love when they put the adhesive on the boxes. I think that's so awesome when they do that. So we're gonna take our bone folder and we're just gonna fold and burnish or crease on all those score lines here. So I'm just gonna work in one direction going down, and then I'll move in the other direction. And I did want to mention, it comes with like an acetate window, and the acetate is already in there, so you don't have to worry about adhering that in there. It's already put together. So literally all you have to do is fold the creases, take the backing off the adhesive, and put it together. Easy peasy. You could put a bunch of these together. Super fast. They are very sturdy because they're made out of that really thick Kraft cardstock. So they will hold up really well through travel or anything like that. Oof. So you gotta get a little bit of pressure when you're making those creases, but that's good. That means it'll be a nice sturdy box. Okay, and then I like to use my take your pick tool. I'm going to use my little spatula end here. I like to use this whenever I'm taking backing off of stuff. Now, this is the top with the acetate window. So we're going to make our box out of the bottom. And what I mean by that is you're going to take this middle tab and adhere it to this bottom section down here, okay? So I'm going to work one section at a time, just taking that backing off. Makes it really easy when you use the spatula piece to take that backing off. And then you're just gonna fold it up and line the edge along with that crease and press it tight. And we're gonna do the same thing right here, just lining that edge up with that crease. And then I'm gonna use my thumb and my forefinger and kind of squeeze them together just like that. Hi, Joni, thanks so much for joining me. We are making what I'm calling Fond of Autumn Cozy Craft gift boxes. We're using 3 different celebration items in this project and making a little treat box filled with goodies. All right, so lining up that crease with the edge, like I said, we want to put that tab on the section that doesn't have the window, okay? You're making that bottom box that holds all of our little goodies in there, okay? And now for this top piece, we'll just adhere that up here. I'm gonna take both of my backings off. Did everybody have a good weekend? Anybody do anything exciting? Oh, where's Mr. Ethan? He's mowing the lawn again. It rained. It was pouring cats and dogs last night. So he normally mows the lawn on Sunday night, but lately it seems like Sunday is the day that it just pours. So he gets out of it, which he's excited about, but then he hates it because Monday he is like swamped with stuff. Like he had to do dinner dishes, and then he had to mow the lawn, and he's got tests to study for. Middle school is hard, guys. He's learning really quick that middle school is really not fun. Not as exciting. I feel bad because he's really having a hard time adjusting because he thought it would be way more exciting than this, I guess. But he kind of feels really grown up too, so he's getting there. Okay, so like I mentioned, we're using this fall assortment, but you can get the little caramel apple ones individually if you need to stretch these to make a bunch of them for a craft fair or like for gifting for a bunch of people. So we'll fill up our little treat boxes here. So we'll put 2 Ghirardelli squares, 2 of our caramel squares. I ran out of hot chocolate, but then we'll put our Hershey nuggets in, which I need to get a couple more. I think you guys, for the most part, know how to do this, but I'll go over it again in case there's anybody that's never done this before. And you can get Hershey nuggets anywhere, which I love Hershey nuggets. Let's see, what did I do with my paper here? So we're using the Rings of Love paper here, and I need, thought I had a little piece in here, I guess not. I'm gonna grab my paper cutter, and we're gonna cut 3 by 1 inch pieces. So I'm actually gonna do 3 inches right here. Make sure you guys can see that. I'm just taking a little piece off of here, doing 3 by 3. And then I'm gonna cut these into 1 inch strips for my Hershey nuggets. And that is all you do for a Hershey nugget wrapper. And while I have this out, so I'm actually gonna cut the piece for the belly band. So our box, we want the direction of the paper to go around the box looking straight up. So this is the direction it needs to be. So I need to cut, it needs to be 12 inches wide, or 12 inches long and 2 inches wide. So this is the 12 inch mark. And so what we want to do is you want to put it sideways and cut a 2 inch piece off of there. And that's how you'll keep it directional, how you need it to go, okay? So now we have the belly band exactly in the direction we want. So again, looking at it, you want the direction, the 12 inch piece to be the direction to be going the right way when you're looking at the 12 inch side. And when you have that, you just turn it sideways and cut a 2 inch piece off of there, okay? And that's how we made the belly band. If you don't have directional paper, that's even better because you don't have to worry about that. But we can't always do that. So I'm just gonna take some Seal Plus, and what I like to do is I like to take my Hershey Kisses, or my Hershey Nuggets, and I find the side that says Hershey's and put it right side up, and I just put the end of my paper there and wrap it down. And that is how you cover little Hershey Nuggets to make them match your project. I will tell Ethan that you guys miss him. I told him last week too, but I know he secretly does a happy dance when it rains and he doesn't have to mow the lawn, and he can put it off for another day, especially on Sunday, because it's like a chill day where he doesn't have a lot of, you know, he has some chores to do, but he can kind of chill out before he has to go back to school. So I know he's dreading it now, or he's not enjoying it now, but he definitely was happy about it yesterday. All right, so again, we'll put our little nuggets in there, and then our little cocoa packets, which like I said, I ran out of, they would go right here on the side, okay? So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna close this up, and we're gonna make our little belly band, okay? So we're just gonna take this, and I actually have the crease on the back side. If you don't like that, if that bothers you, you can always wrap it so that the crease meets in the middle on the front. And that we should be able to cover that up with our little wooden circle there. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of center it on the box here. And we're just gonna make our little, oops, and I have my paper upside down. Make sure it's right side up. We're just gonna center that on the box there. And we're just gonna fold it inward. You don't want it to be too tight because you wanna be able to slide it on and off pretty well. But, and actually I'm gonna put this piece on top because you want whatever, wherever the crease is going to be to kind of be in the center so that when we put that little circle piece on, it can cover up that crease. So if, like I said, if that really bothers you and you don't want the crease to show, that's the best way to do it, okay? So now we're going to take a piece of tear and tape, and we're actually going to, I can take this off real quick. We're going to put a piece of tear and tape on each end here. So if we're looking at it, we want it to be, oops, there we go. So we're gonna put it on the top side of the piece that's underneath and then on the bottom side of the piece that's over the top there. So now, whoops, it's sticking to me. On the left-hand side here, this is the section that's gonna go to the top. I'm gonna put my tear and tape underneath. So just like that. So tear and tape on the bottom here because that's the piece that's on the top, and then the tear and tape on the top because that's the piece that's on the bottom, if that makes any sense, okay? So we're just gonna rub that on here just a little bit, make sure that's nice and adhered. I'm gonna take my tear and tape off, backing. I just like tear and tape for this because it has a nice strong hold. And then, like I said, we're just gonna wrap this up around our box, keeping it somewhat taut, but not making it too tight there. And then put that down just like that, okay? Now we're gonna take this ribbon. This is one of my favorite ribbons right now. It is the natural 1/2 inch wide woven ribbon. It's so soft. I really like this ribbon a lot. So what we're gonna do before we do anything else to our belly band here, we're actually gonna just wrap this ribbon around and we're gonna tie a little bow off to the side here. And this ribbon is so great for this because it is soft, it is easy to move around. You don't have to worry about it being really difficult to work with, and I really like that. All right, you just tie a bow like you would tie your shoes. I know a lot of my Floridian friends don't tie shoes very much, just like me. I live in my sandals. I only wear tennis shoes anymore to go to the gym in the morning, and that is really about it. I think the only time other than that I wear tennis shoes is when it gets somewhat cold in the winter time, and cold is like in the 60s here, in the 50s. And my toes are kind of chilly. All right, so that's our little bow off to the side there with that ribbon. Now we're gonna make this cute little belly band, okay? And this is where the next free $50 item comes in. So this Timber 3D embossing folder is free with a $50 purchase now as well. And we're gonna take a piece of soft suede and we're just gonna line this up in our embossing folder. And we're gonna grab, let me move this out of the way real quick. We're gonna grab our Stamp and Cut emboss machine. Now for 3D folders, you'll notice on the bottom here, on your cutting plate, it says 3D embossing folders. It tells you the exact sandwich that you need. So we need this number 1 plate that we're looking at right now, and then there's a gray plate that's a number 4 plate, and this goes above the embossing folder, and that's it. So we're gonna put that number 1 plate down, our embossing folder with the paper, and then the number 4 plate down, and then we're just gonna run this through. Okay. I love the little wood grain effect that you get with that. It's just so pretty. So, so cool. Okay, so now that we did that, we're gonna put our embossing folder away, and now we are going to use, let's see, did I save it out here? Yes, I did. These stylish shapes dies. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. So we're using the second largest circle of the stylish shapes. These have circles, squares, and these little banner pieces down here. I use these all the time. I just looked at the inventory status report before I got on here, and they are low inventory. So if that's something you're looking at getting, I would recommend ordering them soon because they are running low right now. Okay, where did my other piece go? Here. Oh. So now for the dies, you need that number 1 plate, this number 2 plate, which is like a little thin piece, and then you need 2 of these number 3 cutting plates, okay? And we are just going to die cut a circle out of this wood here and run it through our embossing machine. Okay, and that made that little wood grain circle with the little stitching that we're going to use for our belly band decoration. Okay, but yeah, those the stylish shapes dies here, these are awesome. These are $30. I use them all the time. I love anything with stitching, and these are a really good investment. So if you're looking for something to help you bump up that order to get those celebration items, this would be a good one to add on if you don't have it just yet. Okay, so now we're gonna do this little autumn wishes in Evening Evergreen, and this comes from the Fond of Autumn bundle that we're using today. So this bundle is $52, and it is on, I saved it in the catalog, here in the July through December mini catalog on page 52 here are all the details for that Fond of Autumn bundle. And if you get the bundle, you always save 10%, just like it says right here, and that is the stamp and the die set right there. So lots of cute fall projects can be made with this bundle. So, and this is, if you get the bundle, it's $52. So right there, if you were to get the bundle, you could get one of these free celebration items. Okay. All right, so now on a scrap piece here, I am going to stamp the Autumn Wishes from this Fond of Autumn stamp set. We're gonna do Autumn Wishes right here in Evening Evergreen. And I'm just gonna kind of stamp it right there. I just love that font too. I think it's so pretty. Okay, and then again, we are gonna use another piece from these stylish shapes dies right here. I'm using, out of these little banners, the second, or the smaller of the wider banners, just like that. I'm gonna use the smaller one, okay? And that fits perfectly over these words. We're gonna get our embossing machine back out. All right, and then, oh, I wanted to show you guys my cutting plate. I'm going to show it to you in just a minute. It finally separated. So the magnetic cutting plate, I think I told you guys before, they were having, Stampin' Up! Was having a bunch of issues with it, so they turned it off, so you can't order it anymore. So now I have to use washi tape if I want to get stuff to stay in place, but that's okay. But I had seen other demonstrators show that their magnetic plates were actually separating, and I was like, well, mine hasn't done that yet. I'll just keep using it, and mine finally separated, you guys. I'll show you in a second. It's not as bad as other ones I've seen, but mine's not that great either. I can see why they shut it off. So there's that Autumn Wishes word right there. So pretty. And you see, you can actually, it stitches the other piece of paper too. So if you wanted to do like a square in your card, and you would still get that stitching on the outside too if you took the inside square out and just made that shape. All right, so now let me show you what my magnetic plate looks like. So, as you can see, very well used and loved, and now it's starting to separate. That's one side, which is the worst side, and this one is not as bad. But that is why they shut off the magnetic plate. You can't, it's like they didn't use very good glue or something. I don't know, but it's not, it almost looks like they took the original plate and then just tried to add a metal backing to it to make it more solid, but that glue, whatever glue they used, just didn't hold up. So, oh well. Hopefully round 3 will be better, right? All right, so now we can take our little autumn wishes and we'll just use a little bit of liquid glue and adhere that to the inside. Oh, I had part of a little stamp piece on the back there, but that's all right. It's not gonna show up. Gotta use those scraps, right? And we're just gonna adhere that right there. Now, we want to stamp our little leaves. So what I did was I used tone-on-tone colors, oops, that match the Rings of Love designer series paper that we're using. So we're gonna use Crushed Curry, Sweet Sorbet. Oh, that should have been Poppy Parade. I thought I grabbed Poppy Parade, I guess not. An Evening Evergreen. So this is Poppy Parade, I was pretty sure. Where did my Poppy Parade go? That's weird. Oh well. That's what I use. So Sweet Sorbet is pretty close, I guess. All right, and then we're just gonna do tone-on-tone stamping. So I'm gonna take Evening Evergreen ink and stamp that on Evening Evergreen. And I need something to clean my stamps, and I forgot to get my little chamois wet, so I'm gonna grab a baby wipe real quick. All right. I don't usually use baby wipes, but my chamois is not wet. It is dry as a bone. All right, so we did Evening Evergreen, and now I'm gonna grab Crushed Curry. Stamp that, tone on tone. Just like that. And then we're gonna do, I guess, Sweet Sorbet. I thought I had grabbed Poppy Parade, but I guess I did not. That's very strange. Oh, that works pretty well. It's pretty close. All right. So now we will die cut those as well. A little bit of die cutting. That's all right though. And then the leaf that goes with these also comes in that Fond of Autumn bundle. So you can go ahead and just die cut all of these. And I should have done this before the video, but I thought, oh, it'll be okay. You guys don't mind. So what do you think? Do any of you guys do craft fairs? Is this something that you would like to try to sell at a craft show? I think that would be really cool. I am doing one next month at a church not too far from here. It was one of the first ones one of the first craft shows I did when I first moved down here and became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So it's very near and dear to my heart, this place. Everybody's very nice. It's at a Presbyterian church, not too far from here. And they're always so sweet and accommodating. The only trouble I have over there is there's other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators that sell their cards. So I have a little competition whenever I go over there, but that's all right. I've met some really nice ladies over there. I really like going. And my friend and team member Carol is joining me this year, so I think that'll be really fun to have somebody to go with me and kind of hang out with me while we sell our crafts. So this should be a good time. And if you're curious, if you're going to be in the Florida area this season, this crafting fall craft show season, I do have my craft shows that I'm going to be a vendor at, and Carol's going to be with me at all 3 of the ones that I'm doing this season. So all you have to do is go to stampcampwithjen.stampinup.net, and you can see my events calendar at the bottom of the page. And it has all the information for the craft shows that I'm going to be working at. Okay, so looking at our little belly band piece here, so we're just going to line these leaves up, and I'm actually going to do, we're going to do Evening Evergreen and Crushed Curry. We're going to do those flat with some liquid glue, and then we're actually going to take some mini dimensionals and kind of pop up that Poppy Parade or Sweet Sorbet. I'm not sure. I was pretty sure that was Poppy Parade. I'm gonna have to double check that one. I meant to get Poppy Parade. I'm kind of puzzled by what happened with that. I did a lot of crafting yesterday, though. I have stamp camp, in-person stamp camp classes this week, and I made a bunch of stuff yesterday and cut kits and all kinds of stuff, so maybe I grabbed the wrong thing. All right, so on the bottom of this Evening Evergreen leaf, I'm just gonna do a little bit of liquid glue on that bottom half and just kind of glue it to that edge. And then the Crushed Curry leaf, we can put glue all the way down the back side there. And just kind of overlap the bottom sections of those leaves right there, just like that. And then what we're gonna do with our red leaf here is I am actually gonna take this little pointy end of my Take Your Pick tool, and we're gonna use some mini dimensionals for this one. I'm just gonna put 2. They fit perfectly on the back of this leaf here. And we're just gonna take the backing off of these. Just like that. And we're just gonna kind of center that right between those other 2 leaves, just like that, a little bunching at the top, okay? Now, to put our little circle on here, we're gonna put it on our belly band, right? So what we wanna do is we wanna take dimensionals. And what I like to do to kind of keep the ribbon centered is I like to put my dimensionals above and below the ribbon, and that kind of helps keep it in place on the belly band without actually sticking the ribbon to the belly band. I'll put one more right in the center. So just like that, you just want all those little dimensionals. You don't want it to come out further than the edge of your belly band, but you want that ribbon to kind of stay in the middle, and that way you can still kind of move your ribbon around if you want to, but the dimensionals will keep your little circle in place. So that's what we're going to do with that, and it kind of pops it up and gives a little bit more dimension. Okay, so just like that. Now, the last little flourish, I have these brushed metallic adhesive back dots, and they are the perfect little accent here. And if you have a Take Your Pick tool, take that putty end of the Take Your Pick tool and just push that little piece off of the plastic, and you'll be able to just grab it just like that. So I'm using 2 of the bigger dots, and I'm putting them kind of diagonal from each other on the top and the bottom of the Autumn Wishes, and then we're going to take a small one and kind of put it down below the bottom here. A tip I got from another demonstrator, she said if it's pleasing to the eye, if you do embellishments in sets of 3 and make them kind of look like a triangle pattern, and I try to do that all the time, and I do agree, it is very pleasing to the eye when you look at it that way. So these, as you can tell, they're well loved. They come in 3 different metallics. I'm using the metallic color all the way to the right over here, okay? All right, guys, well, that is really it. So basically, we took those Kraft gift boxes that you can get for free with Celebration. They come 10 in a box. we made a sweet little belly band and filled these boxes up with candy. The Kraft treat boxes, like I said, they come in a set of 10 that you can get free for $50. Or free for 50, sorry. Free with a $50 purchase. This gorgeous Rings of Love designer series paper is also free with a $50 purchase. And the wood grain that we did on this little circle here is that timber 3D embossing folder that you can also get free with a $50 purchase. So if you placed a $150 plus order, you could get all three of these things for free. A lot of you probably already have that Rings of Love designer series paper. Maybe you still need the 3D embossing folder, or maybe you have that and the paper and you just need the treat boxes. Either way, through August 31st, you can get them for free. So oh, thank you so much, Kay. I'm so glad you liked them. I am actually seeing my sisters in a little bit, and I might surprise them with these. I think they would really like to take these home with them. So they can be a little pricey if you make a bunch of them, so they are definitely a special sweet treat for somebody, but I think anybody would be so excited to get something like this. And like I said, it has two of a lot of things, so you could give it to people to share with another friend. It would be a really great way to get people to kind of cozy up together and split a little treat, or maybe they'll share it with you if they really love you. Who knows? All right, guys. Well, I am so glad that you really like this project. If you need any of the supplies from today's project, please purchase them through me, Jennifer Roque, when you shop with me at StampinUp.com. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up or a little heart if you're watching from Facebook. If you're watching the replay from YouTube, also leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and let me know what you think of it. Like I said, the details for this project, I will be posting them on my blog on Tuesday, August 16th, but it may be a little bit later than the noon Eastern time that I usually post it, because my blog will be undergoing maintenance and getting a nice little facelift, which I'm really excited about. Oh, thanks so much, Kay. Thanks, Sue Stone. I'm so glad you guys like this. So just keep an eye out on my Facebook page. I'll provide updates when everything is on the blog and good to go. And until next time, I hope you guys stay safe and happy stamping. Bye-bye.